Right now we're going on, at the moment, I'm working on aircraft. Remember, it's also 1.7.1, so we have these hinges here that we can use. And what I've got is one hinge here and another hinge here. Let me show you. I've got this is one hinge, this is another hinge, and I've got them working together in conjunction to make a folding wing. Now, the whole idea would be, well, let me just say something. Early in Kerbal Space Program, get this rudimentary jet engine, and it barely does anything, and it sure the heck has nothing to do with space, and it's actually very hard to make aircraft that fly. If you don't do it right, you pay. Sometimes you need two of these engines or three. But if you're just going to use one, your thrust is limited, and so will be your, I don't know, I guess maneuverability at the low speeds, because you can overthrust and turn. But just with one engine, when you turn, you're going to lose speed. When you climb, you're going to lose speed. You're going to lose speed just about everything you do except fly straight and true. So you got to be ready for that. So, having said that, all these over little simplified underpowered wings with low control, very small area of control surfaces, it just really is terrible for airplanes. Anyway, it's almost frustrating until you get at least three of your airplane research slots done. Um, More is better, and it actually doesn't get good until you get all the way to the 1,000 experience point Rapier, where now you can really build a space plane that works. Um, Before that, it's a lot of struggle and using rocket engines and jet engines in conjunction until you have a combination hybrid engine. But anyway, the whole focus here was to use two hinges to create a folding wing on a craft that flies. And I think I've achieved that. And what I was getting ready to say and failed to say was I also want to be able to put this under a shroud, stick it on the top of a rocket, and not have a huge ball up there on top, but something a little more like this, and then you can free it, and then you can unfold the wings and come back to Earth after you've left the confines of a shrouded enclosure. This looks like it might be small enough that it would fit in the large cargo bay of the giant plane, the heavy plane stuff that we haven't got yet. Anyway, I just trying to condense things down so they can fit in a tube, and unfold. And this is about as simple as it gets, with two hinges, one unfolding one way and one unfolding the other way. And let's just go out to the runway and watch it work. I am going to change Jebediah for Valentina. There we go. Okay, I've pre-programmed the hinges, so when I push, it's called an action group, and when I push button number 1, this hinge is going to go into action. It's going to toggle the hinge. This hinge is going to toggle, and of course the two in the back are going to toggle. So let's look at that. I'm going to start it up too, because we need electricity to do this, and then I can run the generators. Here, I'll show you. And that was pretty cool. And it looks like I've got it to run about 100. Let me change that to 17. See what that does. Oh, I see. Boy, that slowed that down quite a bit. So shall we slow this one down to 17 too? All right, we'll do 27. It should be just ahead of the one in front. What did I do? Run out of juice already? Okay, I've run out of electricity. So Wow, I'm going to try an experiment. I'm going to give it gas, which should charge electricity. See this? It starts to charge. Oh, everything went the motor's probably disengaged. Didn't re-engage. Okay, this is cool. This kind of shows us the hinges. Oh, this is going to pop me in the air here. I should die right here. Oh! Alright. Wow. Everybody lived. No big deal. Okay, so let's revert our flight to launch. Maybe I'll slow it down in advance. Let's go ahead and do the traverse rate at about 61. No, that didn't work because all that did was affected the lower hinge, which wasn't moving fast enough, and I hit the ground. So let's just go back, revert to launch. And we'll just do it right this time instead of messing around trying to demonstrate. I'm still playing with this stuff, by the way. That's what it's supposed to do. Anyway, so then our wings drop down. They have a little bow and flex to them, which it's kind of interesting with the bow and the flex. Anyway, so the thing about this aircraft, did I mention earlier that it flies good when it's going straight, but when you turn or try to climb altitude, you lose speed. So it's almost I don't know, it's a dud basically for pilots, but for bus drivers it's probably pretty nice, like a shuttle pilot. Alright, let me back it up a little. So it flies. It has a propensity to lean forward a little bit. I could probably adjust the wings and take care of that, or you just fly it. Now, I'm almost inclined to get some altitude before I try to do any turn demonstrations. And you can see anything past the 7-degree pitch angle, you lose speed. So it looks like we're down back at 5, and we aren't picking up any speed yet, but we are picking altitude up. Alright, I've got 500. I'm going to go ahead and start my turn. You can see the decline in the speed and the decline in the altitude simultaneously, actually, in this case. So, for the sake of safety, we'd probably want to straighten it out. Pull it up like this. Get it back. And then just try to coax it above the line. But as we coax and turn above the line, you can see we're losing speed. We're dropping below 65. And then I go back here. And we go back up above 65. And then I turn back here. And we're going to go below 65. So that's what I mean. Every time you turn, you're going to lose. And altitude or speed or both. And I haven't landed it. yet. I did fly it before this demonstration, so I knew it would fly. And I do know one thing: you don't want to drop the landing gear too early. And you don't want to come in sharp and then peel back, because God, I'm just cruising. It's actually flying really free right now. See, you put the landing gear down, it starts to come down. Oh, 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 oh. Boy, that's almost worth keeping. Alright, I landed, but I landed without wings. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and push the one again. And we put our hinges away, even though we lost our wings a long time ago. I'm not really sure if this hints of flying car or if that's just a farce. I see we're tail heavy. Anyway, pretty good. I'm gonna try it again. But technically, I think the video's over. I'm gonna do, if it lets me make it all the way to the end at this speed, I'm gonna fly off the end of the runway. To me, this is the scariest part of all flying, is the last half of the runway when you're going bub 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 bub, and you can hear the wheels hitting the brakes and the asphalt, and it's the point of no return basically, where you don't stop for anything unless an engine blows up. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Let's see how well that worked. That worked beautifully. And look, I'm at about a 5-degree rate of climb. I'm 95, 96 going up. So I'm climbing in altitude and speed. It's interesting because this is a craft that it flies different than other airplanes a little bit. So I guess like with any craft, you have to be ready for its variable idiosyncrasies, or even the occasional surprise to jump up and grab it. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Didn't I say that before? I'm not going to end this video here. What I want to do is run around and try to land it again. I get stressed and pressured trying to demonstrate, and I can do this stuff all day long, and then all of a sudden I say, look and see, and then it's like the whole world just changes before your eyes. So anyway, I find that sharp dives to the deck like this aren't good because they don't necessarily correct fast enough, and that one did just fine. But I was at a lower speed before, and I tried that, and it just wouldn't pull out. And I think I slammed the deck hard in the landing. Okay, generally speaking, we lower the landing gear. When you watch the movies, you can almost see the airplane coming in, You can see a picture of the wing, a picture of the runway, the airplane going in a downward direction, you know, pitch down, and then the landing gear comes out when all these 5 elements all come into play. Well, that's a bunch of hooey. That's only in the movie. Usually what we do is you put your landing gear out way out, and you establish a controllable speed by which you can fly with your landing gear down. You don't need any variable speed control changes right here. And then all of a sudden you learn something about your aircraft a little late in the game. Okay, it's landing now. I just wasn't doing it right earlier. It's a little rough. And then I might even try to fold the wings and see what happens. Okay, let's try to fold the wings. Woo! Wasn't that nice? And then I'm going to put on the brakes. Ooh, that was hard. Oh! Okay. So I guess that's the flaw. I should pump the brakes. To tell you the truth, I wanted to slam them just to see what would work out. All right, so I'm almost there, but I am going to end the video here, and I think that was actually the second time I ever tried to land that craft. You saw the first one, and that was the second. So the second, I landed it, I folded the wings, and I slammed on the brakes, and I knew better, but that's one of my tests. I call it emergency brake test, whereas otherwise I could have gone tap, 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 long tap, and as it slowed down, eventually just stop. And the other thing you can do is you see your brake authority here. You can make the front wheel like 45 and the back wheels like 70. All of a sudden your brakes won't grab. You won't stop on a dime, you won't stop instantly, but you won't flip forward over either. And that's because your front brake has less authority than your rear, so you're not going to have your front grind and have the rears chasing it. If anything, the rears will grind and the front will be an assist, a forward pre-assist. And since it's way less than 70, like less than 35, then it's not going to jack you around too bad. But anyway, I'm pretty pleased with this little hobblecraft that flies like crud, but I have my folding wings, and I got to learn how to use the 2 hinges in breaking ground. And anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to do another one with a larger wing, so look out for that. This is just the first little snub wing idea I had. All right, thanks, bye.